Welcome to Unfold Data Science friends. This is Aman here and I am a data scientist. In this video, I will walk you through the concept of word embeddings. So what are word embeddings, why it is important and why is the need of word embeddings in natural language processing. Let us start. Now you have two sentences in front of you. Apple is good for health and Apple is a good place to work. Here the context of the word apple changes in both these sentences. And that is the complexity of natural language processing. So if you are a human, you know that here apple means a fruit and here apple means a company or organization. But what if you are a machine? You will not be able to differentiate between this and this. So the challenge with NLP or natural language processing is capturing the context in which a particular word is used. Okay. So what are word embeddings? Word embeddings, to keep it very simple, are nothing but numerical representation of words. And why is word embedding needed? Word embedding is needed because you need numbers to train a machine learning algorithm. You cannot train a machine learning algorithm using words. You need numbers. So this is about what and why of word embedding. Now, what are the different types of word embedding? So word embeddings are nothing but numerical representation of words or documents. What are different types? So there are basically two types of word embedding. One type is called frequency based, okay, and other type is called prediction based. Okay, in frequency based I had already covered couple of concepts. If you remember the link for the video you can see here, I had covered something called count vectorizer, where you count the frequency of word in a document, and I had covered something called TF-IDF, term frequency and inverse document frequency. Now these two concepts are very important if you want a frequency based approach, because in both these implementation we use the number of times a particular word occurs in a document. Okay. There is something else in frequency based approach. This is known as co-occurrence matrix. Okay, co-occurrence matrix. I'll just explain you what is co-occurrence matrix in a minute. Before that, what is prediction based approach? So in all these approaches we use the count of a word occurring in a document. Okay, but in prediction based approach what we do is we try to capture the meaning, or I was giving the example of those two sentences in the beginning. We try to capture the context of a word in which it is used. Okay, so what we do is we try to predict based on the previous word what would be the next word, or based on the previous word what is the nearest word to this word in this entire document. There are two concepts on which prediction based word embedding is implemented. One is known as continuous bag of words and other is known as skipgram. Okay, skipgram. So on these two techniques prediction based word embedding work. Okay, and you would have definitely heard of something called word2vec. So word2vec is nothing but a implementation by Google using these techniques of word embedding. Okay, and there is one more implementation known as GLOB, Globe. You would have seen or heard this as well on some portals. So Globe is nothing but another implementation of word embedding using co-occurrence matrix. Okay, so what is co-occurrence matrix at first place? So this what you see here is nothing but a co-occurrence matrix. We have a sentence, this is Aman, Aman is a data scientist. The funda here is what is the co-occurrence of each word with each other. For example, how many times this occurs with this? 0 times. How many times this occurs with is? 1 time. How many times this occurs with Aman? 0 time. How many times is occurs with Aman? So is Aman is here and Aman is here. Okay, hence is Aman will become 2 and Aman is also become 2. It is just co-occurrence of the words. Okay, this is known as a co-occurrence matrix. This co-occurrence matrix goes as input to the Globe implementation. Okay, so we saw two implementation of word embeddings. One is Globe and other is word2vec. So this co-occurrence matrix goes as the input to Globe learning. Okay, So I will explain you in detail how the word embedding is learnt in Globe using co-occurrence matrix in a separate video. That is a very long topic. Okay. After that, for understanding something called word2vec, as I told you, word2vec implements two things internally. Okay. One is called CBOW, continuous bag of words. Another is called skipgram. For understanding CBOW and skipgram, what you need to understand is something called neural networks. So before I make you understand the inner mathematics of how these two algorithms are implemented, I want you to understand the basics of neural network. So I will create a complete set of videos on basics of neural network first, like what is a perceptron, what is a neuron, what are weights and biases, and how neural network work. And then I will come back and explain you the implementation of CBOW and SG. Okay. From implementation point of view, if you are using a pre-trained model, so there are two ways in which you can use word2vec and Globe. Either you use a pre-trained model, or you train your own model. Okay. To use a pre-trained model, you just have to import word2vec and use it. Okay. So that is a high level thing, you can very easily do it. But I want you to understand the inner mathematics, so that tomorrow you work in a very domain specific project, it will be easier for you to implement your own word2vec model, or how these things work internally you must know. Okay. So I will start my neural network introduction series, and then I will come back to my NLP series again. Let me know in comment what do you think about my plan. Okay. And let me know how excited or how eager or how energetic you are for neural networks. Only two things needed from you. One is patience, another is efforts. If you give these two things, I will make neural networks very easy for you. I'll see you all in the next video. Till then, stay safe and take care.